And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Marissa Mulder.
They don't write them like they used to write them, and they used to write them good. They don't write them like they used to write them. If they could, good God, they would. They don't write them like they did when they wrote them, when they wrote them back in the day. They don't write them like they used to write them. No, sir, no how, no way.
Oh, just hold on just a minute, please hold the phone. Because we've got a song or three that will see that this theory is overthrown.
Oh my God, they do write them like they used to write them. If you mean with grace and wit,
I do mean that.
They do write them like they used to write them, but you have to search a bit. They still write them like they always did, but they're not top of the pops today. They still write them like they used to write them. Right here, right here, right here, tonight at the Metropolitan Room. My musical director, Nate Bucchieri.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks.
Isn't he so handsome? Sometimes when I look at him, I'm at a loss for words. Really, though. See, it's happening. Right here tonight, we are going to prove to you that they do write them like they used to write them. All of the songs you're going to hear tonight are from living songwriters, some who are already very well established, and some who will be soon enough. Now, the great thing about working on this show with Tom Toce, he's right there. And that's toast, not toast. The greatest thing about that is because of working with Tom, I was introduced to some songs that I may otherwise have never known, like this next song, written by a woman named Annie Gallup. Sleeping in the straw or washing in the pony's trough. I don't miss the life I left. I have no regrets for running off. There's endless work behind the scenes. It's dirty and it's hard. I spend far more time in ripped up jeans than in my sequined leotard. But nights when everything goes right, I stand in a circle of heat and light. I have the power to change the dreams of everyone in this shabby tent. Make them believe, if not in magic, in money well spent. I'm not the best in the business, but I earn my applause. There are risks, you know. Those tigers have teeth, but no claws. And right away I was so good with them, I never thought of going back. I could smell the anger in their sweat. I could coax them to attack. And nights when everything went right, they leap through a circle of heat and light. They have the power to change the dreams of everyone in this shabby tent. Make them believe, if not in magic, in money well spent. We were driven out of Beaumont when the Lazy J complained. They tore her down and packed her up in a stubborn Texas rain. And standing by the trailers while the dogs and roosters load, I think about a dark-eyed poet who I met along the road. But nights when everything goes right, I stand in a circle of heat and light. I have the power to change the dreams of everyone in this shabby tent, make them believe in magic, make them believe in magic, make them believe in magic. Thank you. Joni Mitchell said, "My mother raised me on words. Where other parents would quote the Bible to their children, she would quote Shakespeare." And thank God for that, because to me, Joni Mitchell, more than anything else, is a painter. She wrote this song many years ago in Philadelphia. After she'd played a show one night, she and her friends found all this beautiful colored glass in an old alley, and they scooped it up and they made sunmobiles. And Joni brought hers back to New York City and hung it in her window on West 16th Street. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day and we'll wear it till the night comes. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on my wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you, crimson crystal beads to beckon. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day. There's a sun show every second. Now the curtain opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by, and pigeons fly and papers lie, waiting to blow away. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey, and a bowl of oranges too. And the light poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day and we'll talk in present tenses. When the curtain closes and the rainbow runs away, I will bring you incense owls at night, by candlelight, by jewel light, if only you will stay. Wake up, it's a Chelsea morning.
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 Thank you. This is an amazing crowd. I am beside myself. Literally. Well, not really. I'm just thrilled. Thank you for coming. These next two songs were written by two New York songwriters in the way that only New York songwriters can write. The first by a man named Doug Cohen, who is sitting right over here. I'm so glad you're back, Doug. And I'm so glad you're sitting right here in front of me. He wrote the song with a man named Dan Ellish for their musical Nine Wives. And the second song was written by two women, Marcy Heisler and Zena Goldrich. And I think these songs are pretty fantastic, so I think they speak for themselves. Maybe you will never know his favorite band at Woodstock, his favorite film by Hitchcock, the books he's read, his touch in bed. You may never wake up to his homemade cheese frittata. There's not a lot of things you can claim, 'cause it's only a first date. It's far from a lifetime, no investment, so there's no return. You can laugh at his jokes, but you won't meet his folks, 'cause it's only a first date. Maybe you will never ride the rapids in a kayak or bicycle through Nyack, share a view, a Netflix queue. Maybe you will never get to see who wins at ping pong, or someday have a song of your own, 'cause it's only a first date, a few hours that flew by, though it felt as if there might be more to come. No real memories shared, don't pretend that he cared. Don't be fooled by the stars that lit the skies, or was it a light in his eyes? By now it should come as no surprise that life doesn't go as planned. Still, it was good to hold his hand, and maybe you'll forget how reassuring were his kisses. It's easy to dismiss the whole night, 'cause it's only an hors d'oeuvre. It's hardly an entree, but it kind of dulls the hunger for a while. You'll forget by next week, but remember his smile, 'cause it's only a dance, it's only a meal, it's only a guy, so come on, get real. There's no chance in hell that he feels what you feel, 'cause it's only a first date, nothing more. Doug Cohen. Bravo. Thank you for your songs. I was totally indifferent when it started. Broken-hearted's not a thing I like to be. So when he asked me to the movies, I said, that might be okay. A decent way to spend an hour or two or three. I maintained a cool composure throughout dinner, and I thought that he was nice, but nothing more. Then after some Chablis, it's true, there was a longing glance or two while walking through the village to my door. I had a real nice time, I said, and softly tilted back my head. And if he was surprised, he didn't look it. I said, I don't usually do this, but I've got some tea upstairs. And he gently took my hand, and then he shook it. Oh my. Is there anything more sexy than an apathetic man? What could possibly more set your soul on fire than a man who holds you to him and with eyes of darkest brown looks right through you with complete lack of desire? No, there's nothing more arousing than an apathetic man. Nothing builds your fever pitch to point of blister than a soft and sultry baritone that whispers in your ear, well, I think of you, you know, more like a sister. To think attentive men were better to adore, men who'd champagne, caviar, and then undive me. But nothing in this world can make my heart scream, take me more, than a man who says that he can take or leave me. Is there any drug more potent than the apathetic man? Friends have screamed at me to quit to no avail. Why take chances on relationships with men that might work out when you've got one that you know is doomed to fail? There's no better science project than the apathetic man, though he's really not a theory you can prove. That won't stop you from the hundreds of experiments you'll try, thinking you're the one who's gonna make him move. So you'll don a fuzzy sweater in a lovely shade of pink, trace his sweet vanilla path behind your ear. Then you'll bat your baby blue eyes as you sit upon his lap, and he'll murmur, oh, that's right, are you still here? Yes, I am, sweetie. Yes, I am. Is there anything more swoony than an apathetic man? Ladies, try one. They're not too hard to find. Why spend time on friends and family when you can spend your life wondering what the hell is going through his mind? No, there's nothing that's more moony than the apathetic man, though you're sure to make him yours the 12th of never. So remember, if you want to love with passion unconstricted, bypass smitten, slightly interested, and woefully conflicted, then you'll find the vice that's sure to make you totally addicted to the apathetic. There are two men out, and it's in the 9th, and the score is 4-3. There's a man on first, and a man at bat, and the man at bat is me. And I'm sorta scared, and I'm sorta proud, and I'm stronger than I seem. And I take a swing, and my dad is there, and it's what you'd call a dream. For the ball flies in the sun, and it sails off as I run. The crowd is roaring, cheering as I go, So are all the guys on the team. And I run for home, and we win the game. And it's what you'd call a dream. And the sun shines like diamonds. The summer sun shines like diamonds. The summer sun high in a baseball sky shines like diamonds. And the sun shines like diamonds. There are two men out, and it's in the ninth, and the score is 4-3. There's a man on first, and a man at bat, and the man at bat is me. And it's what you'd call a dream. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna have some water. Oops. Okay, thank you so much. That song was written by the great Craig Carnelia. You'll often hear his songs in rooms like this because they're so wonderful they can stand all alone. He wrote some of the music for the musical Working, and he was the lyricist for Sweet Smell of Success. That's a song that I've been familiar with for a very long time. But this next song was a song I didn't know at all until Tom brought it to me. It was written by a folk singer-songwriter named Anais Mitchell. She's truly wonderful. She was born in Vermont, and her father named her after the famous poet. And this next song was written by her, which I love. And let me stress again how much I love this man at the piano.
I love you too. Thank you.
Nate Bucchieri.
Love right back.
I just want to say something, so just stop, would you?
Sure.
We're just getting so close that I'm just treating him like crap. That's a sign. That's a sign that I really love you when I start treating you poorly. Anywho, I just want to say that Nate is hysterical. This is not in my written patter. This isn't relevant to anything, but he's so funny. And when we had rehearsals, I would record the entire thing on my phone, and I would keep it, all of it, because I'd be laying in my bed at night, eating a Cadbury bar, learning lyrics, and just laughing my head off. So I just love him. You might not know that from looking at him, how funny he is.
I guess that's a compliment.
That's it, guys.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's the setup.
Oh, sweaty and blushy.
Summer went the way of spring. Winter's waiting in the wings. We haven't saved anything, but that's all right, 'cause we already paid the rent. There's still some money we haven't spent. Go put on something different. We're going out tonight.
I have loved you for so long. Even when I could only do you wrong. Just go see if they have our song on the jukebox over there. This dollar will get you 7 plays, and I watch you through this smoky haze. That secret smile there on your face. I'm sorry if I stare.
But you look like a stranger in that old-fashioned hat. And I've got a pocket full of change, and I don't want to go home yet. Clearly I remember when I used to scratch my poems on the backs of other lovers in the darkness of my mind. Back before I made my home in the marrow of your bones. Now I know your figure like my own, even from behind. You look like a stranger, in that old-fashioned hat. And I got a pocket full of change, and I don't want to go home yet.
But hey, we'll be married soon, and then we'll have our very tune.
And then we'll have a honeymoon.
Yeah, then we'll start to fight. So bring the tonic and the gin.
Say, what was your name again?
Yeah, go stick another quarter in and stay with me tonight.
But you look like a stranger,
Look like a stranger
in that old-fashioned hat. And I got a pocket full of change, and I don't want to go home yet. You look like a stranger,
You look like a stranger
in that old-fashioned hat.
and I got a
Pocket full of change, and I don't want to go home yet. Operator, number please. It's been so many years. Will she remember my old voice while I fight the tears? Hello, hello there. Is this Martha? This is old Tom Frost. I am calling long distance. Don't worry about the cost. It's been 40 years or more now. Martha, please recall and meet me out for coffee, where we'll talk about it all. And days of roses, of poetry and prose. And Martha, all I had was you, and all you had was me. There was no tomorrows. We packed away our sorrows, and we saved them for a rainy day. I feel so much older now. You're much older too. How's your husband? How's the kids? You know, I got married too. Lucky that you found someone to make you feel secure. We were all so young and foolish. Now we are mature. And those were days of roses, of poetry and prose. And Martha, all I had was you, and all you had was me. There was no tomorrows. We packed away our sorrows, and we saved them for a rainy day. I was always so impulsive. Guess that I still am. All that really mattered then was that I was a man. I guess that our being together was never meant to be. But Martha, Martha, I love you, can't you see? Those were days of roses, of poetry and prose. And Martha, all I had was you, and all you had was me. There was no tomorrows. We packed away our sorrows, and we saved them for a rainy day. I remember quiet evenings, trembling close to you. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Thanks very much. That song was written by the great Tom Waits. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Some of you may know I did a show of all of his music last year at the Metropolitan Room. Yeah. And the greatest part about working on that show was that it gave me a chance to dig into not just the music, but into the person who wrote it. Though the times were different, phones instead of Facebook, when it comes to songs, they just can't keep their hands off of love. John Bacchino Randy Newman, and Christine Lavin, in that order. In a restaurant by the sea, on a liquid afternoon, for a moment eyes collide, and the world's periphery. Now your pupils learn the sun to reflect it brighter back. In a moment I'll come to and retrieve a sip of wine. But for now I drink you in. Inches separate our hands when I move to close the gap. You won't clutch or draw away as too many have before. For a moment eyes collide, and reality's the dream, with the wine wet on your lips and a tear moist in my eye. In a restaurant by the sea, on a liquid afternoon. For a moment when somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. And when she was sad, I was there to dry her tears. And when she was happy, so was I. When she loved me, through the summer and the fall, we had each other, that was all. Just she and I together, like it was meant to be. And when she was lonely, I was there to comfort her. And I knew that she loved me. The milk truck hauls the sun up, the paper hits the face shakes my floor, and I think about you. Time to face the dawning gray of another lonely day. It's so hard living without you. Yes, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard living without you. Everyone's got something. They're out trying to get some more. They got something to get up for. Well, I ain't about to. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change. It's so hard living without you. Yes, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard living without you. Yes, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard living without you. When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. When she loved me. But he loves the opera and I love him. I follow the libretto, I follow the conductor. When I follow the plot, my head begins to spin. I don't understand a word, even when it's English. Everyone around me says, this is divine. I don't like the opera, but look, I'm at the opera. It's a good thing he can't read my mind. Oh yeah, he's a wonderful Parsifal. And she's the best tundra I've ever seen. Look at me, I'm skiing when I do not like skiing. But he loves skiing and I love him. I rent the boots and poles, I shiver in the cold. I'm charging down the mountain, risking life and limb. There's no exhilaration, I am only feeling terrified. Everyone around me's having such a great time. I do not like skiing, but look at me, I'm skiing. It's a good thing he can't read my mind. Oh yeah, exhilarating is just the word I was thinking of. Scared of heights? Nope, not me. I am not complaining, I'm just making observations. Expanding your horizons is a sign of maturation. Now I tolerate cigars, cause he's a smoker. I'm playing chess, though I confess sometimes I long for poker. I am eating sushi when I do not like sushi. But he loves sushi and I love him. I'm poking with a chopstick at a living, breathing fish stick. Oh my God, I think it's trying to swim. Some say eating sushi is like chewing on your own cheek or sucking down a bucket full of tentacled slime. I do not like sushi, but look, I'm eating sushi. It's a good thing he can't read my mind. Oh yeah, that's a really interesting texture. What is it? Oh God, no, no. So if you see me in a sushi bar, see me on the mezzanine, see me on a ski slope, looking scared, hey, don't feel sorry for me, I must be in love. Why in the hell else would I be there? Before I met him, life was dull. I never took any chances. Now I leap at every opportunity I find. I do not like sushi, I do not like skiing or the opera. Maybe I will in time. Yeah, maybe I will in time. Seconds? Yeah, sure, I'd love some. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's Christine Lavin. She's such a doll. What a great song. And a lot of words. Which is always super fun and scary, right? It's such an adrenaline rush. Now, Nate introduced me to these next two songwriters, Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. They are Broadway's Boys of the Hour, and they came from the University of Michigan to New York, and they have already written A Christmas Story and James and the Giant Peach. Now, this song is from their musical called Dogfight. Close the window, draw the curtain, hide the bright light of the moon, hang the dresses, ugly dresses, no one likes maroon. Wipe off all that stupid lipstick, return the earrings to their case. Makeup won't make any difference. It's still the same old face. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny you believed that it was real? Pretty funny. All disasters have an upside. You can find one if you try. You went dancing, you were dancing, you were dancing with a guy. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Aren't you funny? Pathetically naive and desperate to believe you can always find some good. Well, you misunderstood, or you were dreaming. 'Cause people are just cruel. Shut the light out, turn the bed down. No more crying, don't you dare. You'll wake up sometime tomorrow and forget to even care. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? For a moment he convinced me I could be pretty funny. Thank you. Francesca Blumenthal wrote this next song, and she told me that when Cabaret legend Margaret Whiting asked if she could record it, she said, "Kid, that song is the story of my life." I believe in star signs. I believe in film romances. I believe in fantasy. And I believe with just one glance he's crazy for my eyes. 'Cause I believe the lies of handsome men. I believe in witchcraft. I believe in Cinderella. I believe in gypsies. And I believe I cast a spell that sends him to the skies. 'Cause I believe the lies of handsome men. Somewhere in a corner of my mind, I'm not a fool, completely blind. And even though he's hooked me on his line, I find the pleasure's been mine. I believe in love songs. They seem to know just what I'm feeling. I believe Prince Charming. I never guess he's double dealing. How my spirits rise, believing in the lies of handsome men. Somewhere in a dark and quiet place, the truth and I come face to face. And even if His Highness disappears, I keep some stunning souvenirs. So I believe in heroes, and I expect that happy ending, wishing on some rainbow. I pretend he's not pretending. Someday I'll get wise, but right now I need the lies of handsome men. think I want to get off, but they buckled me down like it's the end of the world. If you don't want to have this conversation, then you better get out, 'cause we're climbing to our death. At least that's what they want you to think. Just in case we jump the track, I have a confession to make. It's something like a corkscrew. I don't want to fall, I don't want to fly, I don't want to be dangled over the edge of a dying romance. But I don't want to stop, I don't want to lie, I don't want to believe it's over. I just want to stay with you tonight. I didn't mean to scream out quite so loudly when we screeched to a halt. I'm just never prepared for the end of the ride. Maybe we should get on something simpler, like a giant balloon. I've got 2 tickets left, and so do you. Instead of giving them away to some stranger, let's make them count. Come on, let's get back in line again and ride the big one. Don't you want to fall? Don't you want to fly? Don't you want to be dangled over the edge of this aching romance? 'Cause if it's gonna end, then I want to know that we squeezed out every moment. But if there's nothing left, can you tell me why that it is you're holding on to me like it's the end of the world? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much for coming. What a great audience. Thank you. I don't know why I keep cheersing my water. It's so lame. I just want to thank you all for coming. This has been such a great night. What a great crowd. I'm thrilled. You've all touched my heart. Thank you, Tom. There are a few people I have to thank. I'd like to thank Bernie Furshpan and Joanne Furshpan for inviting me back to the Metropolitan Room. I love you guys. Everybody here at the Metropolitan Room, this brilliant man on lights and sound, J.P. Perot, in the booth. And of course, the wait staff here, they work so hard. I know how hard it is, so please find your own special way to thank them. I'd like to thank my dear friend and my musical director, Nate Bucchieri, on piano. And last but certainly not least, our producer-director, Tom Toce. Thank you, Tom. And my producer, Kitty Scribella, my CD. I'm part of her Miranda Music family. She has produced both of my CDs. I always forget to thank her, and she's sitting right in front of me. Ding dong. But I do have some CDs. I think I ran out of the Tom Waits CDs, but I have a CD called Illusions if you'd like to purchase afterwards. $10 a pop. You can't beat that price, right? And it's a mix of all kinds of wonderful songs. And I would like to acknowledge my family here from Long Island and New Jersey for making the trip to see me. I love you, Auntie Jigs. And I think KT Sullivan is here. Is she here? Hi, KT. KT Sullivan. I love you dearly. A great mentor to me. Someone I admire very much. And I see Bill Zeffiro in the corner and Liam Ford. And anybody else I forgot, just yell at me outside and we'll have a drink, okay? Susan Winter's here. I think Deb Berman. I love you guys. What a great crowd. So this last song was written by Julie Gold, who's written many wonderful songs. This song, she wrote many songs, like I said. The one that sort of was a game changer for Julie was the song From a Distance, which Bette Midler recorded. And Julie said that before Bette Midler recorded that song, she was living in this tiny studio apartment here in the city, and she used to lay on her bed, a lofted bed, and she could touch the ceiling while she was laying down. So it was very small. And she used to listen to the city winding down every night and imagine what it would be like to have windows to see the city winding down every night. So after Bette recorded this wonderful song, she was able to move into a one-bedroom condo. And lo and behold, she has a 360-degree view of New York City. And she wrote this last song I'm going to sing for her mother, who sailed to America in 1930. And she told me, because of my mother and her great sacrifice, I've been able to live this beautiful American dream. Some of you may know Julie. I've just had the chance to get to know her personally. She sent me a message on Facebook and said, Marissa, thank you for honoring me by singing my song, Walk Tall in New York City. My mother came to America, sailed through the harbor of hopes and of dreams. Back in the 30s, when the streets were paved with gold and the sky laced with moonbeams, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, here in the free world, we're the lucky ones. All of my yearning, all of my hunger, maybe I'm learning. Sometimes I wonder. Good night, New York. Before the Beatles, before the Vietnam War, back in the days when anything was possible, have having less meant knowing more. All of my yearning, all of my hunger, maybe I'm learning. Sometimes I wonder. Good night, New York. My mother came to America, sailed through the harbor of hopes and of dreams. Here in the future, I hope I've not failed her, but nothing's the way that it seems. All of my yearning, all of my hunger, maybe I'm learning. Sometimes I wonder. Good night, New York. Thank you. Thank you. Surprise. And I'm back. Surprise. Thank you once again for coming out and spending your Friday with me. I'm just thrilled. Also, it's National Donut Day, if you didn't know. So get yourselves to a Dunkin' Donuts after this. Now, there's no better way to end this program than with a song by Tom Toce and Shelly Markham. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for being here tonight. It isn't your embrace or your delightful face that makes me know I made the wisest choice. And if your voice is not my favorite voice, I love to hear you sing off key in the key of Z. But hey, it's okay with me. I'll tell you why. My life is better by half. You make me laugh. When I'm about to burst, the day has been the worst, and I can only sit and stew a while. You've got a smile that always brings a smile, and that is halfway to a grin. Let the grin begin, precluding the mood I'm in. You should have been on David Letterman's staff. Too late, you make me laugh. And no matter the joy that we know in this life, there also will be tears. I can't think of anyone else who could soothe my fears, not these fears. And so I'm thunderstruck at my colossal luck. I always knew the one who won my heart would be funny and smart. Double duty, my sides are good and sore from rolling on the floor. And oh, there's one thing more, you guessed it, you make me laugh. And no matter the joy that we know in this life, there also will be tears. I can't think of anyone else who could soothe of my fears, not these fears. It isn't your embrace or your delightful face. It's more the way you make my spirit soar. As I mentioned before, I love your kind of kindness too. The little things you say and do, but most of all, the fact that you make me laugh. You make me laugh. Thank you. Thank you. Nate Bucchieri.